So I've been showing you a couple of videos of just my training, so I wanted to kind of break up the videos that I've been showing to you. Now I'm going to get back onto the training, because this is going to be the final whole chapter of everything leading up to Marcel's fight, Roy's fight, Andrew's fight. Okay, so this is going to be like the final sparring videos, the final training elements that you're going to see, because you've seen a lot of the training prior to this video with regards to the process that Marcel went through. I'm going to talk about some specifics as well. So in this video you're going to see like a lot of, let's say, skipping. And what I'm going to try and do for you is show you the benefits, or tell you about the benefits of the skipping that you're going to see. It's fantastic. Okay, so, and I'm going to take you through and I'm going to break it down for you. Okay, so we are going to go into the video just now. So as you can see, we're going to start off with skipping, and there's going to be about 5 minutes or so of skipping. But what I'm going to do in the interim period is basically tell you about the full body benefits of skipping. So why we skip? Because it boosts your heart rate. It boosts your heart rate health. Okay, it improves your conditioning, your balance, your bone density, while burning sufficient amount of calories for weight management. So obviously, if you're going into a fight, then you might need to cut weight or anything else like that. Skipping is a very, very good part of that. You know that some of the boxers that actually do skipping sauna suits, sweatsuits, sauna suits, whatever. Okay, so it helps your weight management, it takes your weight down, but also while improving your cardiac coordination and boosting your heart rate, which obviously brings up temperature, which makes you sweat. It enhances your stamina, agility, and mental focus, and it reduces stress. Okay, well, sometimes, because when you're skipping, I want to skip more, but it reduces your stress. Okay, it strengthens your core muscles. Okay, it enhances your stamina, your agility, your mental focus, and again reduces stress. And it's a convenient and affordable way to do effective cardio workout that improves your overall athleticism. Okay, so it's free. You buy a skipping rope. How much is a skipping rope? You can do it anywhere, absolutely anywhere. Okay, so going into it, physical benefits, again, cardiovascular health, strengthens your heart, improves your blood pressure, increases maximal oxygen consumption, which is your VO2 max. Okay, weight management, burns off a high number of calories, efficiently supporting fat loss, weight loss. Okay, bone strength, the impact strengthens your bones, increasing bone mineral density. Okay, muscle toning, so it works your legs, your core, abs, hamstrings, glutes, shoulders, arms, because you're constantly on that kind of thing there, so you get tired arms as well as having tired legs, but then it increases your muscles on your calf muscles especially. Your agility and speed improves footwork, so you'll see them in there going forwards and backwards, side to side, etc., moving around. So it helps your running speed and your explosive power. Moving on to your mental cognitive benefits, so your coordination, your balance, developing high eye and foot coordination, and body control. Okay, again, very important in any form of combat sport, whether it be martial arts, kickboxing, Muay Thai, boxing, whatever. Doesn't really make a difference. It's an all-round thing. Okay, concentration improves your focus and mental alertness. Okay, so you're focusing, you're concentrating on the skipping, making sure you get it right, You might just zone out, you might listen to music, whatever you do, but you're fully focused, you're fully concentrated. You can't just, sometimes you can have a conversation while skipping, but most of the times you can't. Okay, release stress, it's fun, it's stimulating, and boosts your mood. Okay, it's convenient, it's affordable, it requires minimal space, you just need a rope, as I said, and some good shoes. I mean, you can skip barefoot if you wanted to, it's entirely up to you. Okay, and then one of the things that I will say is that obviously check with your doctor just to make sure that you've got no pre-existing conditions, no joint concerns or anything else like that. Start slowly, short sessions, and then basically just build it up. Okay, because that's the best way to do it. Okay, so that's basically me a little bit about skipping. You can see that we do a lot of skipping here, we do a lot of skipping to start with. Sometimes we do a lot of skipping to finish off with, but as you can see, this is why I've left this for a period of time, so we can all understand skipping. And again, hand and foot coordination, balance, movement, core, everything comes into play when you're skipping. Okay? Very, very underrated cardiovascular exercise, but it's absolutely fantastic, especially if you can skip fast, you can go fast like that. So that's why I've left it in. And that's why you see most boxers, pretty much all boxers, skipping rope. You see some with Mayweather, where he does his little flashy bits and pieces. Who's the other gentleman? So I met him the other day. What's his name? His name escapes me. Andy Yard. He loves a bit of skipping as well. I met him the other day. I was actually privileged to meet him. So I met him the other day. And like I say, most boxers will do this because, again, for all of the benefits that I've actually mentioned to you, super important. And even if you just wanted to just do it as a fun exercise, I've seen people do it as a just a normal fun exercise, jumping rope, skipping, doing fancy things, doing trick kind of stuff. It's all good. It's all beneficial. It's all beneficial for your body, your heart rate, your bones, your core, your focus, everything that I've mentioned. So there we are. There we have it, and that's how skipping. Okay, so we're moving on now to a different element. Now, I put Rory and Marcel together. Rory's in Canada, but I put Rory and Marcel together. Now, they are shadowboxing with each other, but not actually hitting each other. So it's like they're shadowboxing as they would. Do you know what I mean? Just free form shadowboxing, but it's visual shadowboxing. So they're actually shadowboxing, looking at gaps, looking at where they can hit. Do you know what I mean? People have a certain tempo and a certain rhythm when they're actually shadowboxing. So big Amir, like showing, again, gaps. Do you know what I mean? Showing gaps and then showing different elements as what you can use while shadowboxing. Look at what he's doing. He's saying, look at what he's doing. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, look at what he's doing. Do work that if you can see a gap, do it. If you can see a gap, like hit him. Look, see that there, bam, 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 bam. Now, if that's Rory shadowboxing. Now, if Rory was in a combat situation, if he was in a ring, he wouldn't allow that to happen. He wouldn't stand there and just take shots. But this tunes you into an opponent's, because 9 times out of 10, if you shadowbox in a certain way, you'll potentially sometimes fight in that way as well. There's going to be elements that you will do in your shadowboxing in the actual ring. So if you can capitalize on them as much as you possibly can do, then it will basically just help you to be able to beat that person in the ring when it comes to you actually doing that in the ring. There we go, touch gloves, and we go again. Little conversation from the two, okay, and then we go again. See, Rory drops his left hand down, so Marcel's basically seeing what he can jab, and he's basically jabbing there. Rory's moving a little bit more than Marcel, so again, that element will come when he's actually in the ring. The movement will come actually in the ring, so it might not be as easy for Marcel to hit Rory when Rory is actually moving in the ring like that. Whereas Marcel's pretty much more stacked. He's not necessarily moving. He's not really picking off angles, and he's reacting to what Rory's doing with regards to the movement and trying to stay offline, everything else, which is good, which is really good. If you can shadowbox how you're going to fight, like sharp, swift combinations, then that will translate into your sparring, which we'll see in the video in a bit. Rory's now got his shoulder up, so again, that shoulder block is like kind of shoulder block parry there, because he's seen that Marcel's jabbing. Rory's jab, because he's southpaw, is always going to be longer than Marcel's jab. Big Amir coming over to watch, and the rest of the guys is basically just skipping. These guys will go through many rounds of skipping, because again, it's a super good workout. Skip for half an hour every single day, and you'll see the difference. So again, Rory's now putting in a little bit more work. One of the things I'm noticing now is that, like, both of them got their hands dropped. So rather than guard up, combination, move off, guard up, combination, move off. There's no, when you're doing shadowboxing like this, there's no kind of fear to anybody, because you're not going to get hit. But you should still always mimic real fight conditions when you're doing anything like this. Here you're sparring. Imagine that someone's standing in front of you, and I always say this to my students. If you're sparring, always imagine someone sitting in front of you or standing in front of you, and they're trying to hit you, and you still got to move. You still got to move out of the way. So, don't just stand there and just punch air thinking that, like, oh yeah, I'm cool, I'm shadowboxing. So you need to, when you're there and you're shadowboxing, it's super important for you to kind of think, okay, cool, that person's gonna come there. Different people do different things. Here is a good representation of what someone would do in an actual sparring environment. Okay, so Roy's moving, want to do shot there, shot combination, come back out, come back. Do you know what I mean? So you can kind of mimic that for your own shadowboxing. When I shadowbox personally, I've always got my hands here, I've always got my guard here, I'm always trying to move, because people are always going to be wanting to hit you back, they're always going to be wanting to fire back at you. And I always take that into consideration. I don't just shadowbox mindlessly, thinking that, okay, cool, this shadowboxing I try to translate into the ring, okay? And it creates a flow, it creates a movement, so you can then have a fluidity in your punches, so those punches will come. Muscle memory is what I was looking for. So it'll create you a muscle memory, so therefore you can always go back and your muscle memory will take you to do X or Y or whatever, blah, blah, and move and everything else like that. And that again will translate into your sparring from your shadow boxing. And then when you come into the ring, again, your muscle memory will just take into flow. Shots will just generally happen. You're not even thinking about it. You're kind of just letting it roll. So I always love a bit of shadow boxing. I always value the shadow boxing in that, and it's super important as well. Yeah, see, so Marcel saw him go low, so he dropped an uppercut. Again, it's very, very good. Master Amir. We might be able to hear what he's saying, but it depends on whether there's music playing, because if there's music playing, I've got this video on silent, so if there's music playing, then you won't be able to hear what he's saying, because we're obviously copyright laws and stuff like that. So, but if there is an opportunity where we can hear what Amir's saying, then I will let you know, or I'll turn up the volume on that so you can hear what he's saying. Probably just saying, work harder! Do a little bit more, work harder, work harder. So, different angle here. So what we've got here now is me doing a little bit of pads with Max. Actually, no sparring. I thought I was doing pads there. I'm doing a little bit of sparring with Max. And what I'm trying to do here is trying to make Max work. Like, I don't mind, it sounds weird, I don't mind people kind of throwing shots and semi kind of hitting me, because it obviously makes me work, it makes them work a little bit more, and it gives them, you know, doesn't give them a realistic flow, but it gives them a little bit more confidence to throw. When you're sparring with a guy or people that are more of a high level than you, you're scared to throw it because you know that something's going to come back. But it's about giving them the confidence that they can actually throw. I try and tap them, just try and tap as light as I possibly can do, just to show them, you know, expose their weaknesses, so to speak. So I'm a pressure fighter, so I'll always put the pressure on. You got obviously Andrew still skipping. He's been skipping now for about 20 minutes or so. And then you've got Marcel in the back. We've taken them two sparring against each other to now Marcel with weights in his hand to increase his hand speed when he's shadow boxing. As a thing that Amir made us do a long time, but it's actually super good to spar with weights in your hands. Now, again, in the far background, I'm there with Max. Max has got a long range, so I'm trying to make him use his range, stay at range. I have to step in, but if I step in, then I'm gonna fire some shots. But now I'm putting a little bit more pressure on him. And now I'm being a little bit more elusive, in the sense of obviously, okay, cool, I'm not gonna, yeah, so Amir now is telling Marcel how we should move. Remember I mentioned it before about Marcel being static in one place? Now he should move, yeah? So you've thrown your punches, move. You've thrown your punches, move. Thrown your punches, move. And that's exactly what I was explaining to you before when I was in there about nobody's doing da-da-da-da and then moving to the side and punching off and da-da-da-da, moving to the side and punching off. Okay, so yeah, you can see Marcel's actually taking the advice of Amir, obviously, because he has to. He's got no choice in the matter. And now doing it. And then in the background, I'm just explaining to Max to be a little bit more confident with himself. I might have caught him just then, that's why he went down. Accidentally on purpose. I say accidentally on purpose, it was accidental. So now I'm not giving Max too much of a break. I'm not giving him too much of a break. I'm just applying that pressure. And what I've done now is seen his openings, so I'm going to exploit his openings when I'm sparring with him, because they're the things I'm telling you about. Keep your hands up, drop your hand there, da da da, keep tight, da da da. So, you know, you can only tell that person a certain amount of times the same thing, and then you have to show them what you mean. Even the smallest little fakes that I give him makes him move, makes him cover up. So therefore it gives me the opening to just throw more punches and do what I want to do. Because then it gives me that control, that element of control. And then they get nervous. Oh, I don't want to get hit, I don't want to get hit. But then that is the worst thing you can do. Just you saw because I caught him with a body shot. That's the worst thing you can do, in a sense of obviously covering up and putting your head down and going into a shell. The minute you go into a shell, you're giving your opponent loads more opportunities or loads more things to actually to hit. Loads more things to hit. He can see there, it means easy control. That means you're not looking at your opponent. So there's going to be gaps so that opponent can just look around and see where he wants to hit you. There you go. See, now I'm throwing more, much more. Still coming forward. Again, this is where I teach Max to kind of step off. That was a good jab. But instantly come back with my own and then combinations. So Max is covered up now in the corner, which you can't see. So, okay, so now we go into real-time sparring with Rory and Marcel. Now this is a little bit difficult for Marcel because, no, actually, that's because that was a good shot there. So this is different for Marcel because most people, you know, probably 7, 8 out of 10 people are going to be orthodox. And you get that one awkward southpaw. And, you know, I used to hate southpaws until I could understand what they're doing. Now I understand what they're doing. I understand the mechanics of a southpaw. So you just have to kind of combat that. But if you're unaware of how they move, and if you've got really, really good southpaw, you know, a really, really good southpaw will always be an orthodox. And that's, you know, that's my opinion. But southpaws are tricky. Okay, they always have a longer jab, and they can control things more just with their jab. And again, here where you've got Rory that is inches taller than Marcel, so his range is going to be a lot longer. This is where he controls it. So Marcel's trying to hit him from out there, where he has to figure out a way to step in and come up and get to Rory. Amir's giving Rory advice just to flick that jab out there, flick that jab and then stay control. This is what I was telling Marcel to do. It's like you have to move off, you have to find angles to fight Rory because he's a southpaw, and you have to, sorry, people were in the way there. So you have to move your feet, you have to be able to move around him, but you have to move around a certain way. So Rory's just changed there, back to orthodox. But if he changes to southpaw, an orthodox fighter has to realize that they have to move away from their strong backhand. So in this case, Marcel would need to, which he is doing, circle round to his left, stay away from Rory's power hand, which will be his left hand. And he has to keep circling around to the left. The minute he steps to his right, he'll find that he's going to sit on, like what he's doing now, he's going to sit on Rory's strong hand. But it's very good, and I think I said it in a couple of other videos, it's very good to spar with different people, so you get different people's movement. Also, for Rory, it's actually super good because his opponent is probably going to be orthodox. So, you know, we don't know whether he's tall, he's short, we don't know, you know, size, but roughly he'll be about Rory's size, I would imagine. At this stage, I know what he is now. I know what he was now, but then we wasn't really too sure on his height or anything else like that. So it's very good to spar with different people, all abilities, all sizes, just to get a good idea. Okay, so now we'll move it into the ring. So this is where, when you saw the shadow boxing, when they were doing shadow boxing before, and they were doing the distant shadow boxing, where obviously one was over there, they weren't actually shadow boxing. You can see where Rory's style now comes into play because he's using his reach. So he knows that he doesn't have to do that much, whereas Marcel now was throwing all of these shots, but they now become irrelevant because he's trying to throw them from out there rather than trying to step around and using his movement like what I said to him before and then what Amir told him thereafter. He now has to understand that he has to move his feet to get into Rory. Rory's in a prime because he's got a long jab, you know, he's got a long jab, and that's all he was doing. If you see that, the similarity between Rory's shadow boxing, even down to his sparring, is pretty much identical. There's there's similarities along the way, and this is again what I was explaining to you. The way that you're going to shadow box is necessarily similar to the way that you're going to spar. I'm not going to say it's exactly the same, but it's very similar because you're used to a certain amount of movements, how you move, and when you move, why you move, etc. But when we were saying about Rory's movement, Marcel's doing good by trying to move to his left, but he should be using his right hand a lot more. There you go. As I said it on cue, he done it. So that was actually really good. I don't know what he's doing now. I think he just wanted to go for a thingy, and then there's no MMA in this, so no hold it. See, what I would do is I would try to punch to, if I was Marcel, which I think I did tell him afterwards, punch Rory's arm, chest, arm, because that's what he'll reach. Yeah, and his lower part of his body. Going for his head, it will leave him exposed because he has to reach. And Rory's playing a bit of Iron Man now. Then Marcel hit him. See, this is Marcel's range, so he feels comfortable doing this. But is it real? Not necessarily. But he's still putting Marcel under a lot of pressure, which, you know, he's throwing a lot of punches, might hit the gloves, tiring him out. But he's doing very well here. That jab is nice. But if he was to throw those combinations and move round, they'll be more effective. Much more effective. Throw, bang, step around, bang, step around, bang. Put him on his awkward side. Always put him on his awkward side. Which I think I may have told him that because as I'm actually explaining it to you, he's actually doing it, which is absolutely awesome. Yeah, he's moving his feet now. Body shots that I would have seen there. he's definitely moving in the right way. Marcel's moving in exactly the right way. And I think I would have been here just giving him coaching, telling him to move around. And now it's getting a little bit more intense. Rory's got a little bit of a game face on. Marcel's moving in exactly the right position, as where he should be. So, I'll take this quick moment now to basically tell you there's still a competition going on. I am going to be giving away some shorts, some tracksuits, some box raw t-shirts, everything. I'm going to be giving them away. I'm going to be giving away a special Fire Blood shorts, red or black. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to be giving away those to people that actually watch my videos, they like, they comment, you know, that they're fully involved in those videos. So I'm going to be giving those away. I'm probably going to say it to the end of April. At the end of April, I'm going to be giving away, because I'm going to look at people that have actually, they've invested their time. You know, I invest my time in you guys to basically give you the content that I'm giving you. So if you invest your time just to make a comment, it takes a couple of seconds, then those are the people that are going to get away. They're going to get those, items. Also, when you do get those items, when I do give them to you randomly, because I'm just going to just message you randomly saying that you've won. Then please post it up on your Instagram or on your socials and let them know that you have actually received that, and only because you've just been watching my videos and you like my videos, whatever. So, on that note there, keep watching, keep commenting. The guys that have subscribed, thank you very much. Thank you for your interaction. I really, really do appreciate it. Again, click that like button, click that share button. You've already subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you very much, guys.